Most people come to Baja for relaxation and vacation, but we came to race. This is the NORRA Mexican 1000 rally. We transformed a stock Suzuki V-Strom 800DE into a fully fledged rally racer with a bunch of choice modifications to race this adventure bike against a swarm of smaller and lighter bikes. There's 2,168 kilometers or 1,347 miles between us and the finish line in San Jose del Cabo. But first, we need to explain what I've got myself into. We made it to Ensenada with a rally bike, finally. Right now, we went registration, we got our numbers on our bike, so now we can go over to tech. We're gonna check the bike over for all the required equipment, which is basically the tracker systems on the bike. You have your survival gear with you, you have your helmet, and then everything jives with the rules. It's real like almost like a slow moving parade. And we still have to do a little bit of test riding. Right now the bike has 92 miles on it, and we're gonna go race it 1,600 miles. That's not a good combo usually. Hopefully they don't send us back to fix something. But I think we're good. So, before racing begins, there's 2 days of tech inspections, rider meetings, and last minute preparation in Ensenada. I can already feel the pressure building, and I might not look it, but I am nervous. Although NORRA's tagline for the Mexican 1000 is the happiest race on earth, it's still a race. And as much as that's true, the teamwork, community, and camaraderie among racers to help each other get across the finish line is incredible, as we soon came to find out. I spent over 100 hours building the best racer I could, evoking the spirit of Suzuki's DR Big Rally racer from the 90s. There's never been a V-Strom like this one. It's a real rally racer now. But I still haven't even ridden this beast in the dirt. As soon as we're done with tech, we have to go ride this thing and figure out if I got it all right or I got it totally wrong. We passed tech inspection without any issues, and the race fans were really impressed with our DR Big. Now, we just need to have the Stella tracking unit installed, and then we can get to work testing the bike. So they're putting the Stella unit on. That's the thing that gives you all the warnings. You know, something's coming up behind you fast, like if a trophy truck's coming up behind you, let you know if there's danger ahead, gives you speed warnings in the speed areas, so it's kind of an important deal. Once again, we're going to get this rider's duty started. Most people know the Baja 1000, but this race is different than that all-out one-and-done race. Think of this as a shorter version of the Dakar Rally. There's 6 days of racing consisting of special stages. That's the actual timed racing. And transfer sections that get you to and from the special stages, but those don't count against your actual race time. Unlike the Baja 1000, the Mexican 1000 Rally allows only one rider to enter the race. All you have to guide you is a scroll of paper with course notes, a compass, and a trip meter housed in the custom-built rally tower sitting front and center. Not only do you have to ride well, you have to navigate well. There are plenty of riders that can go fast, but the rally pros can navigate, strategize, and ride smart at the same time. It's like trying to cook a gourmet meal while wrestling a bear. Am I the cook, the meal, or the bear? We'll soon find out.
The cool thing about NORRA is they kind of like really embrace a lot of different vehicles, and it was cool. I was really stoked to see your twin cylinders showing up. Now we got some Ducatis. We almost had a Cove. We're going to give you the opportunity to have a really good experience on whatever bike it is, and hopefully you get to finish it too.
The question I have is actually where the start line is. I don't even know. I'm assuming it's over there. With tech inspection done, we can finally get our bike in the dirt for the very first test ride. Torque's a little slow, or a little soft. More compression in the front, more rebound in the front, more rebound in the rear. Maybe a little compression in the rear and we're good. But like it's 90% there. Brakes are actually just fine for the dirt. I mean, when you got to gather it up really fast, the lever's still a little squishy, and I think we just need to bleed it again. But overall, like, if I rode this as a brand new adventure bike, if like I went to a press launch and they were like, here's our new adventure bike, and I got on it, I would be like, this thing is sick. What's rad about the Moose is in the rocks, like all the sharp edge rocks, dude, the bike just goes right through it. It just goes blah, 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 blah. Right away, I knew I had something special in this bike. All those hours of hard work paid off, and the suspension is amazing. The handling is great, and everything works as it should. That's one of what feels like 100 worries checked off the list. Okay, so we're back from doing our shakedown run, which was pretty short. I think it was only about 15 miles. But in those 15 miles, I learned a ton about this bike, and I got really, really close in the settings just by sitting on the stand, bouncing up and down on it in the dirt. I only have to do a few clicker settings. This thing's ready to go. I'm really, really surprised how close I got it. I was honestly sweating the whole time we weren't getting to go test the bike, and now I'm totally ready. Like, I'm ready to go racing, and I'm not even stressed. I forgot that I needed clear goggles to ride to the staging area because it's still nighttime. I was like a kid waiting for Christmas morning. There's very little sleep and lots of scenarios running through my head. But now there's nothing to do but race. Day one will run from the west coast port of Ensenada to San Felipe on the Sea of Cortez, spanning 360 kilometers or 223 miles of racing over 2 special stages and 2 transfer stages. There's a pit in my stomach, and as soon as I can get to riding and navigating, the better I'm gonna feel. I think we're in a good place. I mean, it's everyone's first time doing this type of race, right? And getting ready for this type of race. So it's just organization, but there's a lot of things you don't think of, and we find that out as we realize we haven't thought of them. So, but overall, I think we're good.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Justin Dawes, 11th.
Morning, how you doing?
Morning. Is yours?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Nice choice. I'm Simon.
Nice to meet you, Justin.
Yeah. Didn't know you were busy, so I wanted to introduce myself and say, oh, this is nice.
I do it with commentary.
Interesting choice.
First time loading a road book. I've seen it done on TV, well, on YouTube, and on the car show. So I think we got it. It's a little crooked this time, but we'll get better at it. 2 months ago, I started with a stock V-Strom 800DE, and now I'm just seconds away from proving that this adventure bike can be a hardcore rally racer. It's finally time to start. I'm focused, the prep is done, the bike is ready, and now it comes down to what feels like one single moment in time: the start. Out on the course, all worries left. I just concentrated on riding well and paying attention to the course notes. The first day is all about finding a groove and limiting my mistakes. You can't win a rally on day one, but you sure can lose it.
We're here at the first assistant zone, waiting for Justin Dawes. Hopefully he comes in, no bike changes, nothing's wrong. You just get back on the road and make up some time.
So you're gonna ask me what's going on right now, and the truth is I don't really know. None of us really know. We've been waiting here for a while at the assistance point. A lot of bikes come through already, even a couple vintage bikes, which isn't the best sign because they started pretty far behind us. We're hoping it was just maybe a little bit of a navigation issue, and Dawes got off course, and he just took a little time to find his way back. It's day one, so if that's the case, we can make it up. At worst, there was maybe an incident, and I just hope it'll be okay. But yeah, I don't know. I think we just don't know right now. We don't know. We're still waiting, and yeah, we'll just fingers crossed. Dawes gets back in here pretty soon, and if there are any issues, we can take care of it pretty quick and get him back on the road.
And then the Stella fell off. This thing fell off like 6 times. And then I got lost for like 20 minutes. Am I like one of the last ones? Probably. This one's still here, but we gotta put a bolt in there.
Right here. Right above the other bolt.
I passed a bunch of people, and then my Stella flew off. It was banging around over here.
See it. Yeah, you see the holes there?
So,
Once it comes up there.
probably good. And then so I stopped. I put it back on and went again, and then it fell off again. Put it back on, went again, put it back on. Then I zip tied, big old zip ties on it.
You don't need to feel like, you don't want it full, do you?
No, I've got to go 90 miles. It doesn't need to be full. Minutes to fixing that, and then I was lost for like 15 minutes. Like how far ahead did the first guys come through? Half hour ago? An hour. As I came to find out later, the situation I found myself in is common for a first-time rally racer. Even after receiving some sage advice about slowing down or stopping when you realized you missed a turn or direction, I pushed forward and hoped I'd find the next waypoint ahead of me. But I didn't, and I made it much harder to find my way back on course. Now, I'm way off the pace and I have to calm myself down and focus rather than push too hard and make even more mistakes. I need to remember what my friend Ned told me. Think of navigation as a casino and you're a card counter. When you know the deck is stacked against you, slow down, be careful, and be sure of what you're doing. When the deck is in your favor, push it and go faster. But right now, I feel like I'm barely able to even play Go Fish. The start of Special Stage 2 was a reset for me. Forget the disaster of Stage 1 and concentrate at the job at hand. In front of me was El Diablo dry lake bed and what seemed like endless amounts of sand surrounding me. Here, I'd learned my second rally lesson. Even though this was just the first day, I felt a competitive urge I haven't had since I was racing in my 20s. That's over 25 years ago. But I wasn't the smartest racer back then, and I might not be right now. I've been catching riders in the sand, and now I set my sights on the dust ahead of me on the dry lake bed, determined to make up time. Problem is, I forgot the golden rule of running tire mousses. Rather than a tube inflated with air, a solid foam gives the tire its shape and prevents flats. But you have to limit your top speed so you don't overheat them. When you overheat, they break down and they turn to mush. I was traveling well over 100 miles an hour, and combined with a 473-pound weight of the bike, it was just too much for any moose to handle.
At the finish line, Justin Dawes with a complete flat rear tire. I'm sure that wore you out a little more than you anticipated, didn't it?
Yeah, I think I cooked the tire balls on the, or the moose balls on the dry lake bed. I was doing like over 100 on the dry lake bed, and I got a little I was having too much fun.
You got a little too excited, got a little throttle, little throttle heavy, but hey, you're out there having fun, all smiles. But coming down the road, I was like, what's he doing? Oh, he's got a flat tire that's just dancing all over the place. I thought you were trying to show out a little bit.
No, I finally gave up just right at the finish, so it was fine.
Okay, so you made it here, and obviously you're going to put a new rear tire on this one.
Yeah, we got a whole stack of tires in the van.
Okay, and I was going to ask that question. I'm not a motorcycle guy. I like them, but I don't ride them. But do you plan on changing a tire every day, or only when you have issues?
Every day. Yeah.
Front and rear, or just rear?
Front and rear.
Okay, so get in here, get cooled off, have some tacos, some cervezas, and then go check out the bike, get it ready to roll for tomorrow's stage number 2.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, John Dawes made it here, and we'll let him get out there and have his crew check everything out. But another great showing on the Baja Spirit of getting to the finish line.
Oh no, it was fun. There was really fun sections, but all the sand was so soft. It wasn't like silt, but it was so soft. So there was a few times like the bike would just knife and I'd like have to catch the bike, and so I expended a lot of energy just not dropping the bike, and then I fell over when I passed Camrad because he blew a corner, so I slid into it and then like tried to get through the sandy section, and the front end knifed when I fell. So he stopped and helped pick it up. And then we got going again, so I let him lead out. And then he ran out of gas like probably 10 miles later. And then I stopped and we tried to figure out if we could loan him some gas. And I didn't have enough.
Whoa! All right, here's what we learned. The moose balls got pushed a little hard today. Justin was riding pretty aggressive with some high speeds. We have a fresh set of wheels and tires already prepped with moose balls. We're gonna try again tomorrow, adjust the riding style, and hopefully we can run them the rest of the trip.
The plan today is to ride smooth and smart and navigate well. Yesterday, I lost a lot of time getting lost, and if I had not got lost, I'd be much higher up on the timesheets. I'm right in the middle, I'm 12th out of like 30 people, but I could have been up in like the top 5 if I had not got lost. So, second half of the day, I felt like I didn't ride as well as the first half of the day, but I didn't get lost, and my times were the 4th fastest of the day. So, that shows that navigating is just as important, if not more important, than going fast.
I think the team's learning all around, and we'll just keep getting a little bit better each day. So by the end of the trip, we should be doing pretty well.
Starting order 423.
It's day 2 and I'm sitting in 12th overall. Although I had huge issues on Special Stage 1, I crossed the line in 4th place at the end of Special Stage 2. That's an unexpected and awesome result. Today, we race from San Felipe to Guerrero Negro for a total distance of 501 kilometers or 311 miles. It's one long special stage bookended by 2 long transfers, which we have a solid plan for. Would I be able to make up time, or were there more hard lessons coming my way? We have a plan to take care of the rear tire and the nooses and not ride so fast on the street and not so fast on dry lake beds and things. I talked to Alexander Smith and I was like, oh, I screwed up the rear tire on the dry lake bed, and he's like, just so you know, I went 60 miles an hour on the dry lake bed. And I'm like, well, I went like 120, so that's where it went wrong. So in our class, we're allowed to transfer the bike on the road. So we were putting the bike in the van and driving it the next 100 miles.
I'm coming with you. I got it.
While I thought the second half of day 1 was tough, today was even tougher. The navigation was trickier, the sand was deeper and softer, and there are plenty of places to make mistakes that could cost you a lot of time. However, I rode well despite a few tip overs and reached the gas stop in a good position as I had passed a bunch of other riders where navigation was confusing and tough.
Need cold water on your back?
I think it's good news. I mean, he came in, he was on time, you know, not too slow, not too fast, just cruising. I think everything's good. Bike looks good. He didn't crash it. We couldn't ask for anything more right now.
Then, a small riding error turned into a big issue when I went offline into a rock and boulder-filled lane. Great, chain came off. Was in the trail, I hit it, knocked me off trail, and I cased it into that big old rock over there, and then it ripped my chain off. Not cool. Now I'm very tired because even just that little bit is tiring compared to just riding. Not that riding isn't tiring though.
It's been really hard to keep track of Justin just because we don't have Starlink. A lot of people have internet service through the Starlink and a tracker. We've kind of been able to piggyback off some people and get a rough idea of where he's at on the course. We think he should be coming in pretty soon, but not too sure, honestly. The couple things we do know from the guys that have come in are now is that this morning was really technical because of the sand, and the afternoon was really technical because of the rocks. It was a bunch of rocky uphill stuff, so we're expecting him to be a little bit tired coming in. We'll get him some water and stuff like that, but after that we're basically wrapping up with the day, and yeah, get him into town, and we'll digest the day, see how it went for him, and move on to the next day.
Well, problem number 2. Tubing cracked. Never bike rally tire wants to leave the bike.
We're here at the second assistance zone. Dog should be coming in pretty shortly. Then it's a transfer stage. We're gonna throw the bike in the van and work our way to the finish.
This sucks so bad because I can't go fast. I have to go slow because you're beating the rally tower to death. I don't have anything to fix it with. Okay, zip ties. Good seal I wouldn't think would work because it would just break again. So here I am, just putting along, beating myself to death instead of skipping over everything.
All right, dog just arrived here. A little bit of a mechanical. We still got to diagnose it. Bike's in the van, take it to the finish. Baja Spirit, just got to get there.
I'm all right. I'll be okay. I'm really disappointed in today because the bike was running good. I felt like I was going really good in the first half, even though it was like the first half of today was harder than yesterday in actual like physical riding, but I felt like I did good. And then I was a little tired, but I was still like catching people, moving through dust, passing them. And then I made a mistake, and then I took the chain off the bike, so then I had to spend like 10-15 minutes fixing the bike. I got video for you, at least. Put up the GoPro. And then I got going again, and then I found like a second wind, and I was feeling really good and like flowing and like starting to rip. And I was like, I wanted to reel in all the people that passed me while I was broken. And then the rally tower started like moving a little bit, and I'm like, what's going on there? And I grabbed it, and it didn't feel that loose, and then a few more bumps, big bumps, and it was like pop, and then it just was completely broken on both sides. And it's the very bottom of the stock Suzuki piece, and I mean it's a lot of leverage, I guess, even though that stuff's not very heavy. So, but I think if we can weld some just full on Baja style, weld some angle iron on it, strengthen it up, it'll be fine. It'll make it through it. So, but I was worried about smashing all the rally gear apart, so I went really slow. So I think I gave up a solid hour. I think I would have been here an hour earlier because there was sections that I was going, I don't know, 30 miles an hour that I could have been doing 60, 70. That's racing.
It could be worse. You could be on fire.
The big question was how long it would really take to get the tower welded up and get the bike back together. I had a feeling we'd be up all night working. Despite having to ride slowly after the tower broke, we crossed the finish line in 14th place for the stage and moved up in the overall rankings to 11th place.
So we got into basically the final destination for today. There was a guy here who's opening up a motorcycle shop. He already knows some people in town, one of those being a welder. That guy is already coming our way. We're ripping the kind of the hardware around the tower off right now. He's gonna come weld this thing up. We should be buttoned back up hopefully soon, and that is the good news.
What we have here is the fairing stay for the front. Holds the fairing, the dash, and any clusters. Baja durability testing. We lost it here, it broke here and here. We're gonna take it, have it welded back to the bike, and be ready to go in the morning.
Son dos piezas. Ahorita lo voy a poner ahorita para ver cómo se va.
We'll have it back together in an hour. So maybe an hour and a half of work to get it fixed. That's pretty good, considering we didn't have a welder and we didn't know anybody. That's how Baja is. Everybody knows everybody and they're always willing to help, especially racers. Like, they will help a racer out no matter what.
Así bien. Ándale pues. Hey. Muchas gracias. Gracias.
So we learned a lot today. You know, building a custom rally bike out of an adventure bike and then taking it racing without any testing at all is a bad idea. That's what we learned more than anything. But we found a couple things that were, you know, not maybe set up properly, like the rally tower. Like, I expected it to hold the weight, but then we found out that the tubing is very thin wall from the stock cowling holder from Suzuki, so it cracked and it broke, and that cost me probably an hour of time on the course. And the other things we learned is you can lose a lot of time screwing stuff out, but you can make a lot of time if you're just careful, meticulous, and you pay attention to what you're doing. And so with those learnings, I think from here on out, I think we've sorted most of the bugs out. And so with that done, tomorrow should be a problem-free day.
We had issues. We had to get some stuff fixed. We had a lot of maintenance to do. It was really cool that everyone stayed up late and worked on the bike while they let me go eat and go to bed. So I want to thank the team for that.
Probably 10 o'clock, right before the restaurant was closing down. We're still wrenching on the bike. One of the last guys in, but we got the work done. The bike's prepped, ready to go. Should be dialed, and we're here. So just on to another day and keep trucking along. Baja spirit, baby.
Bugs worked out. Jimmy says today's going to be fun, but Jimmy's definition of fun is different than every other human being on the planet. So when he says fun, it's going to be hard.
It's now day 3. The course would leave the oceanside town of Guerrero Negro and head to the oasis of San Ignacio. There's 401 kilometers or 249 miles to cover with just one special stage that requires 2 fueling points. With the tower fixed and the bike prepped, I was ready to put the last 2 days behind me and have a good, solid day of racing. There's going to be some tough riding, especially in the first 20 miles, but even so, today was looking to be our best day so far. The goal was to move up the overall ranking yet again.
You come into like where it shows a little rancho or a speed zone, always cows. So really, I'm saying this again, don't let a cow make you have a bad day.
I don't know. What I gotta do differently to get to the finish is hopefully nothing breaks. And I'm just gonna ride smooth and smart and do what I gotta do. We'll see where I shake out. So, let's see. As promised, the first dune section was tough. Navigation through the soft dunes was tricky and caught nearly everybody out. Just the slightest deviation on the compass or cap heading could lead you into some very soft sand, as I soon found out, as did many of the competitors. The great part about rally racing is the camaraderie between the racers and their willingness to help out. And I needed some help, as did some other guys right at the same time. We worked together to upright each other, and the race was back on. It's rare to see this kind of selflessness and teamwork among competitors in any other form of racing.
So me, knucklehead, got out of the sand or out of the dirt onto the pavement, was safe, then decided it was a good idea to try to get back in the dirt to help the first van that got stuck, and got the Ford van, the biggest van we brought, super stuck. Got stung by a scorpion digging up the sand. Have this huge roadblock going down on a two-way road, one-way road each direction, and we're stuck in the mud, stuck in the sand literally. So we're in a pretty bad situation. Luckily we got some good locals helping us out. Hopefully we'll be back on the road soon. So we gotta go find Dawes. We don't even know where Dawes is. He needs gas, he needs help.
I mean, we're stuck right now, but we'll get it out. It'll get out. We always do, right? But yeah. We're stuck. It'll probably be a little bit. Only concern is obviously hoping we get to the next checkpoint before Justin does, because we got to get Justin some gas. So the sooner we get it out, the better. Cool. All right, vans are out. Well, the Ford van was out. That was the big one that was stuck. Got it out. Thank you to the locals, man. That was a huge help getting us out.
All right, so we are 3 minutes away from the checkpoint, and we just saw him transfer from the road off into the dirt. So I assume that he got some assistance because Jeff was a little bit ahead of us. So we'll just have to hope and see that he's good, and we'll get more updates here shortly.
Fact is, I didn't get gas. At the assistance point, your time is neutralized, meaning the clock is paused, but only for 10 minutes. At the end of those 10 minutes, you have to leave or you get a penalty. I knew I had 2 gallons in a jug at a NORRA splash gas 40 miles down the course, but that might not be enough to get me to the finish line. I knew I'd have to be mindful and keep the revs down to conserve fuel. Problem is, I had more dunes to cross.
All right, we beat Justin to the second assistant point. He's about 45 minutes away, according to our local guy right here with the Starlink. Got the van prepped to load him in, transfer him to the finish.
Fuel conservation also kept my speeds down on the dry lake beds. That's good news for the tires. And I used up nearly every single drop of the 800DE's 5.3 gallon fuel capacity. But I did make it to the finish line.
I had to stop and adjust the clutch, and the adjuster nut was so tight that I couldn't get it loose. So I had to use a tool to do that. So that cost me probably 3-4 minutes. And then somehow the starter solenoid just stuck on while I was riding. It started trying, like, I heard this noise. What is that noise? What is that noise? And then I finally stopped, and I turned the bike off, and the starter kept going. I turned the key off, the starter kept going. So then I had to rush and get the battery disconnected. And then I was like, huh. And then I connected the battery again, and it kept going again. So then I pulled the solenoid out, hit it with a wrench, and we did it. It was fine. Well, that was fun. Starter solenoid stuck on, so the bike was trying to start itself and just wearing down the battery and dumping fuel into the bike, even with the key off.
So we're currently on our way to the finish line in the transfer stage, and the bike is definitely being pushed to its limits. Justin is still in his competitive spirits, which is great. But you just got to remember, you can never beat Baja. You just got to survive it.
Crossing the line at San Ignacio, there were just a few bikes parked, signaling that there was a chance that I had maybe made up some more time on the field. Turns out, I was 8th for the day, and now I'm 8th overall. Things are looking up.
So we're here in San Ignacio with Justin Dawes, the 323 in this Suzuki. Everything, the bike still looks good. How much fun did you have out there today?
Today was good. It was really fun. It was fast. Navigation was tricky in just a couple parts, but overall it was just fast and flowing. Besides the sand dunes in the beginning, it was really, really fun.
Yeah, the navigation with these bikes is just something we're not quite used to. In the cars, we've got the GPS.
You got two people.
you got a co-driver to help, and that's an actual piece of paper, right?
Yeah, yes it is. It's an actual piece of paper that rolls around. You gotta move it up and down all the whole time.
Yeah, it's incredible, and for you to start in the Bay of LA and then end up here in San Ignacio, right in front of this beautiful mission.
Awesome.
I mean, you kind of are in the barren desert out in the middle of nowhere for so long, and then you get here and it's just a beautiful oasis.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool. I'm glad to be here. I'm ready to go take a shower and hang out at the oasis and chill.
Absolutely. Well, I'll let you do that because we got a great fiesta that just kicked off. We got some beverages, some grub, and let you chill out, get cleaned up, and enjoy your day.
All right, thank you.
Right as we ended the street section, I had to adjust my clutch, and then I started seeing your dust, and then when we got on that nasty rock and stuff, I just saw your dust go away.
I think that 650 just eats those rocks up. Yeah. It's still scary. You don't want to knife the front end.
I know.
Awesome.
Good job.
That was fun.
So day 3's done, and it went really good. It's the best day we've had yet, and I think we got a lot of the kinks worked out. I only had one small issue towards the end of the day with the starter solenoid, and just took a little tap with a wrench to fix that, and all was good. In the morning, the sand dunes were tough, and then after that, it was let the thing eat. It was super rad, super fast, super flowing. And then right in the middle, there was a little tough spot going through a bunch of camel grass in sand dunes. It was a little bit tough, but after that, again, it was pin it and have fun. It was a really fun day. The boys had a little issue on their own, but it didn't hurt us at all, so that was a good thing. So I'm looking forward to the marathon stage tomorrow. I think it's going to be really good. I think we got the kinks worked out, and now we just got to make up time. It's day 4 and the first portion of the marathon stage, a 2-day test running a total of 672 kilometers or 417 miles. Today's stage is just 196 kilometers or 122 miles from San Ignacio to the fishing village of San Juanico. The big question in my mind was how tough those 122 miles were going to be. From the start of today, the team can't help me at all until the first assistance point tomorrow. So if anything goes wrong with the bike at all, I have to fix it myself. And if something breaks, it's gonna be a problem. But we've got all the bugs worked out. The bike ran almost flawlessly yesterday. I think we are gonna be jamming today, and I'm not really worried about it. It's a shorter stage, so that's nice. One thing I don't know is if it's gonna be fast or it's gonna be technical. If it's fast and it's short, we should do really well and move up in the standings again. If it's tight and technical, see where we end up. It's gonna be work, but I'm excited about it. Thank you. After a few speed-restricted zones, the course opened up to a fast and flowing blast. But again, I had to watch my top speed as there were some salt flats that could trick you into going too fast and melting down that rear tire. Restraint was the key, along with solid navigation. Woohoo!
We just talked to Justin on the phone. He already arrived at the bivouac. He's done for the day riding. He had a good day.
The course was just rough enough for me to be able to use the V-Strom stability to smash past the competition, finishing 5th overall for the day and 2nd in class. One little navigation error cost me 3 or 4 minutes, but overall, I'm very happy with the day.
I don't have to camp here tonight. I'm going to the hotel with you.
We're here at the impound, so all these bikes, I can't touch this bike until the morning. And then I can gas it up in the morning, and then no mechanic work until assistance 1. So we'll just fill it up and go. But I checked it over. I stopped out front, checked everything over. There's nothing to be done to the bike at all. So I was like, okay. Yeah, we thought we had to stay like a marathon stage like in Dakar, where you're out in the boonies and you're out in the desert and out in the boonies and sleeping. But it turns out that only the bikes have to be impounded. So the marathon is really for the bikes more than it is me, which is cool because the bike is an adventure bike. It's made to go thousands and thousands of miles at a time. So it like didn't even phase the thing. We only raced, I think, 140 miles today, but we did it fast. Like it felt like we started and then we finished. Like it was just super fast. I battled with 3 guys on like regular dirt bikes all day long. We swapped positions quite a bit in terms of like who was leading out, and it was really, really fun. Today was the best day yet, and I think I made up some more time on the field. So maybe my position will change. We'll have to see tonight after the times are posted. And today was the shortest day. It was like 120 miles, and I did it in 2 hours and 53 minutes. So that's a pretty good running average. And I think the race leader did it in 2 hours and 30 minutes, or just under 2 hours, 3 minutes. So it was a really fast section. It was easy. It wasn't very taxing on the body. And who knows tomorrow? Like that's a long way. It's over double what we did today. So no mishaps today. It was awesome. No mechanical issues. I rode, I think, smarter than I did the first day, obviously, because I didn't go a million miles an hour. 2 guys passed me, and then I had to pass them back because I slowed down on the really, really fast stuff that would cook the tire. I was like, okay, I'm just going to save it because the marathon, I can't change the tires, so I got to keep them good for tomorrow. So see how it goes.
Careful, okay? It's getting easier, but you got to pay attention still.
Day 5 is the second part of the marathon stage and is one of the longest of the rally, with 417 kilometers or 296 miles from sleepy San Juanico, the Baja's southern capital of La Paz. No issues with the bike, and a long rest meant I was ready to push my way further up the rankings. Today would be the make or break for this race. Today's race distance is long, but views like this go by in a flash. This epic run down the beach will be etched in my memory for the rest of my life. Racing in Baja is unparalleled, and just look at where an adventure bike can take you. It was all going great until it wasn't. Just a small hesitation turned into a very stuck V-Strom.
Can I get a little push from you? Thanks. One more go. 1, 2, 3.
With some help from a fellow competitor, I was back on my way, blasting down the beach again. But little did I know, my day, it was about to end.
Really? Clutch.
Back off the beach, he was stopped again.
His clutch. Okay, so he was back that way?
Yeah.
Any guesses how many miles?
It was 5.
Okay.
10 maybe?
Yeah, we're gonna.
All right, we're just outside of Scorpion Bay. The stage just started for Dawes. He got out onto the beach pretty early into it. He fried the clutch in the sand, so day's done. Sounds like Norra's gonna pick him up and bring him down south, and we'll meet up with him hopefully pretty soon and try to see what exactly happened.
Well, that's it for today. Somehow I fried the clutch. I got stuck in the sand dunes back there.
Maybe I cooked it there, overheated it, and then when I got to this sand hill to leave, I touched the clutch one time, and then it just said no mas, and it felt like I was spinning the tire in the sand, but in fact the back tire wasn't spinning at all. So yeah, and it's not coming back. I've let it cool down. It's done. So they're gonna come get me and take me to the finish line today, and then tonight put a new clutch in and carry on tomorrow. So while I was digging out the bike when I got stuck, I hit the catalytic converter in my hand. I don't know if you can see that nice gooey mess of a burn. So while I'm here sitting, killing time, waiting for the recovery, I'm gonna wash it and dress it and take care of it, because it's pretty ugly looking. And have a nice scar to remember Baja by. Well, anyway. Now we're just gonna go finish the race and have fun. Enjoy riding the bike. I think you do. It sucks. I'm really bummed. I did put a lot of work into this thing.
I think it would just be best to get him to La Paz, assess it, and ride the last day.
Okay. Sweep 7 and 8, they're going back for him?
7 is, 8 is holding there right now until we make sure that 7 doesn't get stuck.
Sweep 8?
Yeah.
Okay, that sweep 7, and then they feel confident they can get it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did they already pick him up or no?
They're with him, that's all I know.
We're waiting for Justin and the DR Big to arrive in the sweep vehicle. We're on the side of the road just getting prepared to switch the clutch back if there's enough time. If not, we're just gonna have to head to La Paz, do it there, and get ready for the final stage tomorrow.
So I got stuck, and the first guy came to help stop. One guy, two people passed me that they were racing with me. You know, I told them to go because I don't need to ruin their time because I got stuck. But and then this guy stopped and he was like, "I'll help you," and he couldn't help me really get it out. And then the next guy that stopped right after him, he helped me, and it was no problem. We got out in a minute and a half, 2 minutes. But I fried the clutch.
No, just give me just start it.
The plan was to get to La Paz as soon as possible to fix the clutch and minimize my time penalty. I would be getting the maximum time, but we weren't sure how it was going to be calculated, so getting to the finish line as fast as possible was very important. But Baja has a way of rearranging every well-laid plan. We're behind a teacher's strike on the only road to La Paz, and it's going to be at least 2 hours. So I'm going to get 2 more hours added to my thing.
Do we know what the max penalty looks like?
Don't know. I think it's probably 8 hours. So that means that my whole race day is going to be like 15 or 16 hours. I'm basically going to race for not to get last place now. But it is what it is. If I didn't brake, we wouldn't have this problem. If I didn't screw up, so it's my fault we're here. But what do we do? I turned in my time card at the finish line. It looked rad. Everyone was partying. They were like, "Oh, where'd you go?" In the back of my van. So we're gonna go get the clutch in it now. We're gonna go to the Airbnb, pull the bikes apart, and fix what's gone wrong. And tomorrow we're gonna go flat out. These should be the color of normal steel. They're blue. These should be in one piece. They're not. These should have pieces of fiber on them. They don't.
Are you pushing into it? I'm just trying to push down.
Man, I screwed up so bad. I ended day 5. and we just finished re-prepping the bike and fixing the clutch. It's all prepped now. New clutch, new tires, new air filter, full of oil, full of gas, ready to go. So the goal now is to get this thing across the finish line. But first we gotta start it up and make sure everything works. That's a relief. This is the final day of the rally, and it's time to start fresh. We're now in 16th place overall after that hard time yesterday, but this is the very last push from La Paz to San Jose del Cabo. There's just 248 kilometers or 154 miles between us and the finish line. So, I'm in 16th place.
Overall? Yeah, overall. 4th in class. I'm 2.5 hours out of 3rd place in class. 2 hours and, 33 minutes. So, I'd have to make up some big time to catch up. But that's okay. It's all about finishing at this point. We had some issues, and that was my fault. And now we're just gonna get it to the end and enjoy it. Enjoy the ride today. Have fun.
It's like Frogger in there, okay? Those cars, they have two missions. They're loaded up trucks in deep sand and they don't want to stop. And there's a bunch of people that want to come and watch you and they're looking for cars, not bikes. Careful, when you see road crossings down there, you know, pay attention. When you see a car, it's probably not going to stop because it doesn't want to get stuck. So be cautious of this. The waypoints.
This is the last chance to show what the V-Strom 800DE is capable of. Since we're now out of the running for a podium, it's time to let it all hang out and post a fast time as a sort of redemption. I'm feeling good and the bike is running great. So I'm just gonna pin it.
It's only 100 kilometers, so if I can average 50 kilometers an hour, which I should be able to do maybe, then I should be okay. Because the trucks probably haven't even started yet, I hope.
Trucks were running already.
Oh God.
At the end of the day's first stage, we posted the 3rd fastest time overall, just 7 minutes back from the leader. Unfortunately, we had one more final technical gremlin. Somehow, I kicked the retaining clip off the shock reservoir hose. We're still gonna go for it, but probably with a little more caution as there's no damping left in the shock. There's nothing to do but race to the end. So good.
That was awesome.
We made it. Oh my gosh, we made it. We reached the finish line, crossing it with a new riding buddy. The shock, it slowed us down a bit, but we still managed an 8th place finish in the last stage. This is a huge accomplishment. We just finished the NORRA Mexican 1000 on a Suzuki V-Strom 800DE. This is so amazing.
Oh, it feels good to get to the end. Even though I missed part of it, it was awesome. Passing all these people. There's so many people out there in the sand wash cheering you on. It was so sick. It was good. I just couldn't go super fast. That's all. I had to like go easy, but it kept me safe because there's a lot of like really hard left rights like in the mountains where if you screwed up, no one would find you. You would just go sailing. So, but I could let this thing eat when it got smooth. I was just super rad. So got a little lost right at the finish, but other than that, it was good. Like it was just like so many turns coming so quickly, and you're trying to stay up on top of the sand. You're like, oh, like you couldn't even roll the roll chart fast enough. So it was good.
So knowing what I know, and even in the beginning I was joking about, hey, how many miles, how many hours do you have in this thing? And it wasn't a lot. It was either going to be instant failure and then it wasn't.
When that first inspiration for the DR Big Rally project hit me, I thought, sure, let's go race. It'll be fun. But I didn't realize the life-changing experience this project would bring me. Not only did we put up some competitive times, we fought through our issues and we had some very heartbreaking moments. But above all, we had one heck of an adventure and made a ton of new friends. I'll never forget any single second of this race, ever. You don't beat Baja, you survive it. And a piece of this beautiful place and amazing group of people will stay with you for the rest of your life. Bikes like Suzuki's V-Strom 800DE are so versatile and they allow you to find your adventure. We found ours here in Baja, but where will you find yours? Go out, get an adventure bike, and then do the thing you've always wanted to do. You won't regret it, I promise.